All right, let's go over multiplying and dividing fractions. So to multiply fractions, super simple. All we got to do, let's say we have 2/3 times 1 over 4. 2/3 times 1/4. All we need to do when multiplying fractions is we just multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. So 2 times 1, that gets me 2. And then 3 times 4 gives me 12. And something to kind of be aware of is we often end up with something that can be simplified, a fraction that can be simplified. And in order to simplify a fraction, we need to look at what's in common amongst the numerator and the denominator, right? So let's take a look at that with this one. So I've got 2 over 12. And I know that I'm going to go through the divisors of both of those numbers. So 2 and 12. So 2 can only be made up by 1 times 2, right? So 1 and 2 are its divisors. Okay, then 12, I can do 1 times 12, I can do 2 times 6, or I can do 3 times 4. So that means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are all divisors of 12. And you should be able to see that what these two have in common, the largest number that these two have in common, are the 2's, right? So what I can do is I can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2, which will give me 2 divided by 2, that gives me 1, and 12 divided by 2, that gives me 6. So that's going to give me my simplified answer. This 2 over 12, it's not incorrect, it's just not simplified. So again, that 1 over 6 is my simplified answer. All right, now let's go over dividing fractions. How do we divide fractions? So let's say we have 3/4, and we want to divide it into 1/2. Well, the rule is when we divide fractions, what we got to do is we have to take this second number, right, and we need to invert it. We need to flip it. So this 1/2 becomes 2 over 1. So it becomes 2 over 1, right? And this basically just changes into a multiplication problem. So I have that 3 over 4, and instead of dividing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by the inverted number. So it becomes 2 over 1. And again, when I multiply fractions, all I need to do is multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. So up top I have 3 times 2, that gives me 6. In the bottom I have 4 times 1, that gives me 4. Let's see if you're able to simplify this fraction, simplify that final answer.